Welcome, seekers. You have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky, and today I bring you another pick a card tarot reading and oracle reading. This pick a card is perfect for anyone wanting predictions concerning love. That includes singles, couples, marriages. Now, the title of this reading is Love Predictions for the Next 6 Months, right? So I will use the oracle cards as well to provide you with advice and guidance, right? And it's all going to be surrounding love for the next 6 months. Now, the process is simple. In front of you, you have 4 groups, 4 knights, the 4 knights of the tarot. It is up to you to choose the group and the knight that calls to you the most. We have here group number 1. This is the Knight of Wands. We have here group number 2. This is the Knight of Swords. We have here group number 3. This is the Knight of Cups. And we have here group number 4. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So go ahead, take a moment, pick the knight that calls to you the most. If you're drawn to more than one knight, that's okay. The reason why I have 4 options up there is so that if you are attracted to more than one knight, you can pick multiple knights. But ideally, you want to pick the one that calls to you the most. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and include the timestamps in the description below so that you seekers can fast forward to your groups. Welcome, group number 1. You picked the very beautiful and dynamic Knight of Wands, right? The fire energy here with the Knight of Wands, will, passion. Very interesting. All right, so what we are going to go ahead and do, group number 1, is we are going to start by throwing some oracle cards. And this is going to provide us with a little guidance, possibly even some advice, whatever the oracle cards want to tell us. This is all centered around the next 6 months and what is coming in love for you. So we're just going to go ahead and shuffle and reveal the cards at random. Let's go ahead and take a look here. What do we have with the oracles? What is coming in the next 6 months? What advice? All right, so we've got some information here. You are being asked by Spirit to take inspired action. This is a full moon in Virgo. I am a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon, so Virgo is strong in me, right? So the Virgo is telling you to take inspired action. And it very much feels like this is the theme of this reading. So it's very interesting. In the next 6 months, Spirit wants you to take inspired action. That's followed with first quarter moon in Pisces. Honor your feelings, right? Honor your feelings. Very interesting. Okay, wow. Very intense. It seems like with just those 2 cards, within the next 6 months, you have to try and break free of some kind of mold, or try and break free from some kind of bondage or mental prison, emotional prison that you might find yourself in. I think that maybe potentially some of you want to have a certain life, you want to have a certain outcome, and I think that what Spirit is bringing to light is that you are going to have to make some changes, right? You have to listen to what you are truly wanting to do. What are your feelings telling you? What intuitively are you at this moment in time wanting for yourself? And it feels like, what Spirit is telling you with these cards is that you haven't been moving in that direction for a while. And I feel like you've been not honoring who you are and what you truly want. Maybe you've been potentially putting too much pressure on yourself or too much attention towards what other people are telling you, or there's a sense of possible desperation and a desire for something, but really it's divine timing at play, and potentially there are certain things that need to happen and the outcome that you want to be made manifest. So very interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what else the cards reveal to us. I'm going to throw a card from the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. This is actually a new oracle deck. from the Seasons of the Witch, Beltane Oracle. Let's take a look and see what awaits you this beautiful Beltane time. What information in the next 6 months, Spirit and Love? The Goat. Oof. The Goat. Interesting. Interesting. So we've got a message from the Goat. And the Goat says to you, fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. Wow. What I see with this card is that you are on the right path. Wherever you are in life right now, you're going in the right direction. Now, that message is balanced with the take inspired action and honor your feelings. So I think that what this card is telling you is that you're not doing anything wrong. You just have to, in some ways, continue on the path that you're on. Maybe some of you have just come to a halt in your life, in some area that you know is necessary for the changes that you want to come. And obviously these changes, it all has to do with love. It all has to do with manifesting what you want in this area. So, fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. And so that is a very interesting message, right? Honoring your feelings, taking inspired action, being fearless, and continuing on the path so that you can be able to manifest what you truly desire. Very interesting cards. All right. We're going to go ahead and throw some tarot. Now, I want to go ahead, since it's Easter, this weekend is going to be Easter, I wanted you to go ahead and use the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. I like this deck. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle, and we are going to ask Spirit, what is coming next in love for group number 1? What is coming next? What is coming? Wow. Oh my. Group number 1. Look at this. Okay, so we start with the 1. We start with the best one, right? The 2 of Cups, which here's the 2 of Waters. Partnerships, commitment, reconciliations. My oh my. So in the next 6 months, you are going to find a partner. Someone is going to commit to you. And the fact that we also have reconciliations here is very interesting. But for some of you, not all of you, obviously take what resonates, leave the rest. For some of you, you are going to get a blast from the past. Someone that maybe you got into a fight with, or things didn't work out. Seems like that person might be returning. There's a reconciliation taking place. But this is the card of love, right? Beautiful love in all its glory, in all its beauty. So you are being told that within the next 6 months, you are going to have someone. You're going to have a partner, right? The fact that you've got 2 cups tells me that in the next 6 months, it's going to be very heavy relationship oriented. And we see that with the 3 of Waters, right? This is the card of community. This is the card of friendships. This is the card of building. This is the card of just, being a part of something, being a part of a beautiful celebration, being a part of the celebration of life, happiness, joy. And it comes with a group. Now, it's funny that, the oracles want you to take inspired action towards something. They want you to honor your feelings and to be fearless in your path and in your choosing. It almost feels like in the next 6 months, this isn't just going to come to you, okay? You have to try and take a step forward. And the fact that we've got these two cups showing up tells me that it's going to be on you to build relationships with people. Maybe some of you are more introverted, right? Maybe some of you are expecting for this thing to just, fall out of the sky, right? This person's gonna come to your house, gonna knock on your door, and say, "Hey, I'm that partner that crazy guy Ricky told you about," right? And I think that what the cards are telling and alluding to is that you're gonna have to try and go out and try and have more fun with people. Try and socialize as much as you can. Build relationships, build connections. Within the next 6 months, it's going to fall on you to celebrate. It's going to fall on you to potentially build a community. It's going to fall on you to build friendships. Within those friendships that you built, you're going to be able to manifest this person. Okay, the person that you want, the relationship that you want, right? In order for you to have this very beautiful, beautiful scene, illustration, you have to build the connections. You have to build the friendships. You have to possibly reconciliate with people, and try and be as bendable as water, right? We have two very important cards that talk about the process of being almost agreeable, but agreeable to the point where you go with the flow. You go with what feels most right at that moment in time. I think that maybe some of you might reach a point where you're feeling emotionally stable, or you're feeling like you want to do something, right? And then there's a thought or a feeling that comes over you that says, yeah, no, but remember what happened last time. Maybe it's best to just stay indoors, or not to even talk to that person because they look like a weirdo, right? And that's just for a small minority of you. Maybe others aren't like that. Maybe you do want to connect. Maybe you do want to reach out. Maybe you do want to form a community. Maybe you do want to party and have fun, but maybe those people aren't around. But for the next 6 months, you're going to have the opportunity of building, right? You're going to have the opportunity of celebrating with that community, with those people. And you are being told to go ahead and be fearless in that process, because within that community, within those friendships that you build, those solid friendships, will come this relationship, this partnership, right? My, oh my. That is very beautiful. So let's go ahead. I just want to throw 2 more tarot cards, and then we're going to end it with 2 oracle cards to give us a little more advice. But right now what I'm asking is just, a little more advice, a little more information, possibly some guidance from Spirit here. All right. So we've got some interesting cards here. We've got the 3 of Air. We've got the 7 of Earth showing up. Interesting cards. Let me fix the board. There we go. All right, so 3 of Air. This is the card of sorrow. This is the card of forgiveness. This is the card of healing, right? So we already know that within the next 6 months, something is going to be required of you that potentially is going to make you feel a bit uncomfortable, right? Taking inspired action towards something. And we have the answer here. We have the guidance right here. Healing, right? Forgiveness, letting go of sorrow. All right, and we have here your guides pretty much telling you it's time. It's time to heal. It's time to reconcile. It's time to forgive. And it's time to move on, right? So I think that a lot of you have been hurt in the past. You've been, you've gone through a period of heartbreak, and that has really molded you, and it's really shaped your reality. And so it's kept you from making investments in the right areas. It's kept you from making or from being who you used to be. Maybe you were this beautiful, wonderful person that loved to celebrate and have fun and have that community atmosphere. Or maybe, you never really have seen this, or haven't really been attracted to this, or seen the value in this. Whoever you are, right? Take what resonates, leave the rest. But it's time, right? The message is pretty clear. Sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. Right under the Take Inspired Action card, right? Right next to the Fearless card, and following a path forward. And all of it is centered around this celebration, this community, and this friendship card right here, right? In order to bring forth this partnership that you so desire. So the message is pretty clear for the next 6 months. Taking inspired action is a necessity. Wow. Now, the next card, the 7 of Earth, is another interesting card as well, because again, it solidifies what needs to happen, right? We have here a worker that is taking inspired action towards their goals, right? We have this person that is all about their investments. We have the keywords there: assessment and patience. And so, it's almost like an added guidance and an added advice. See, this person might not want to talk to you, or if this person was the one that hurt you and you can't forgive them, or if you simply are just in a place where you just don't want to open yourself up to anyone because of what happened, it's time to start making investments in yourself, in the people around you, and also assess why you're feeling this way, where that sorrow came from. Is that sorrow still a part of your life? Is that sorrow still impacting your decision making? Is it because you have not forgiven? Is it because you have not healed from some kind of pain that was brought on by this group, this community, this friendship that were supposed to be friends, but they ended up betraying you? So what is really going on? I think that a lot of people pick this group, so there's definitely a lot of different messages here, but ultimately what needs to happen is moving forward in this kind of forgiving energy so that you can manifest that partnership, investing in that area, also being patient, right? So this is another advice that we have with this card. Be patient with this person, be patient with this group, be patient with yourself as well as you move forward. Okay, well, all right, so let's go ahead and throw some more oracle cards. This is going to be from the Lover's Oracle. We're going to throw two, and we're just going to let the Lover's Oracle talk to us, right? We're going to see exactly what the messages are, what the advice is, possibly what should happen at this time. We're just going to go ahead and let the oracles tell us. All right, so let's see. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, we've got Oracle card number 1 and Oracle card number 2. All right, let's see what these messages are here. Your first message for the next 6 months: freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Wow. I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? This is exactly what we're talking about right here. Very direct message from Spirit to you. I don't think that we need to even go over exactly what that means for you. I think we've already talked about that exactly. Spirit definitely wants you to move forward. Spirit wants you to take action. The only one that's going to stop this partnership from happening is you, right? If you want this partnership, Spirit is telling you got to go get it. And there's a requirement from your part, right? It requires forgiveness. It requires a bit of healing. It requires celebration. It requires community. I mean, these things don't seem big, right? But I think that for some of you, it may be. And, a lot of you are probably saying, oh, but those are the things that I already want, right? I'm trying to manifest that. Well, Spirit is telling you that you're not doing it in the right way. That you have to, in some ways, move away from sorrow and start embracing celebration. If you're waking up every morning and constantly thinking of all the horrible things that are going on, and constantly in this energy of, I need this, I need that, and I don't have this, so I'm unhappy, you're not in that celebration energy, you're in that sorrow energy. And so, it's important for you to step away from that sorrow, enter that celebration, so the community can come, friendships can come, and a partnership can be built. Okay? Now, the second card says to you, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Boom. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Spirit is telling you already know. Spirit is telling you exactly what you're thinking. Spirit is pretty much confirming that you have the knowledge, you have the ability, you have the motivation. You know exactly what needs to happen. And it's one of the reasons why you were drawn to the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about action. It's about forward moving momentum. Compared to all of the other knights, this is the knight that says, follow me, boys, follow me. I will lead you to the promised land, right? So the Knight of Wands is inspired action in motion. And that's what you were drawn to. So think about that very clearly, right? Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. That's it. Do what feels right. That's what you have to take away from this reading for the next 6 months in love. Do what feels right. Honor your feelings. Take inspired action. Be fearless in the face of defeat, or fearless in the face of any obstacles. Move away from that sorrow. Go into that forgiveness. Healing will follow. Celebration, community, and friendships are very important. Investments in those areas will yield the partnerships, the commitments that you want. Reconciliation is a big part of it, and you must be patient. No matter what, always be patient with yourself, the people around you. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Group number 1. All right, so that's your recap. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your donations. Truly. Also, I'm offering private readings. If you're interested in a private reading, I only accept reading requests through Etsy. There's a lot of fraud going on in the community, so please be aware of that. I will never reach out to you directly for a reading. You have to go through my Etsy store, and I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Thank you so much, everyone. I love every single one of you, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading and Oracle reading titled The Next 6 Months Love Predictions, right? So, you picked the very witty, quick, fast, good with their words, Knight of Swords, and we see this knight in full action, right? This knight doesn't want to hold back. There's lightning behind him. And you know, it's the words that this knight uses, right? They're very piercing, almost as piercing as getting struck by a lightning bolt. So, you know, it's interesting that that's the card that you picked, the Knight of Swords. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with Oracle cards. We're gonna start with the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. We're gonna throw 2 cards and try and get an understanding of what the next 6 months is going to bring you when it comes to love. We might also get some advice from these cards as well. So let's take a look and see. Spirit, help us here. The next 6 months. The next 6 months. Oh, wow. You got the exact same card in the exact same place as group number 1. So if you were drawn to group number 1, potentially there might be something there for you. So I recommend that you go back and that you watch group number 1 after you watch this. It was actually a pretty favorable reading. So yeah, if you were drawn to group 1, go ahead and watch that as well. Now, we have here first quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. And then we have first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings, right? So very interesting message. In the next 6 months, you are being asked to potentially take action. And it's interesting because this was the message early on for group number 1 as well. But take inspired action. Step into your power. Know who you are. Know how dynamic you are. You know, we have here what appears to be a dancer. And she is just, you know, dancing her heart's desire there. There's a sense of sexiness and beauty to her as well. So I think that for the next 6 months, you know, you have to understand what your power truly is. I think that your energy, your zest, your ambition, what's inside of you, and your beauty as well, is something that needs to be expressed and showed in the next 6 months. You know, Aries, obviously, it's the sign of fire, so move towards that. And also honor your feelings, right? I think that maybe some of you don't want to do that. You don't want to show anything. You don't want to say anything. You don't want to express yourself, right? And it's time to start doing that. It's time to start expressing yourself for the next 6 months. It's time to be as direct as you possibly can be. I think that a lot of people, we try to not offend anyone. We try to be so correct in everything, but we don't. And what ends up happening is we end up not saying what we know we should be saying and how we should be saying it. We end up just kind of eating that, and then we feel resentment later on in life. So make sure that you are speaking your truth. Make sure that you're getting it out for the next 6 months. You know, the people that essentially are not there for you or aren't serving you in any way, get rid of those people. You know who they are. You kind of just keep them along for company. Get rid of those people. Step into your power and know that you are a powerful, powerful being. And the next 6 months are going to be very interesting. So let's see, why is it that you need to step into your power and honor your feelings for the next 6 months? Let's go ahead and try and find out. And for that, we are going to ask the Seasons of the Witch, the Beltane Oracle. So this is a new Oracle deck, and we're going to go ahead and showcase it here. We're going to throw just one Oracle card, and then we'll transition to the Tarot. All right, the next 6 months. Oracles, what do we have? What do we have? We've got boundaries. Well. Boundaries, and it reads, boundaries are sewn into the parts of who you are, for they are not to be crossed. Wow, okay. That is a powerful message, and it's a powerful message for some of you. It's an advice, it's a guidance. I think that the first message needed a little balancing, and this is it right here. So it's important when you're honoring your feelings and when you're stepping into your power, right, for you to understand that there's always boundaries that you can't cross. And once you cross those lines, you can never go back on them. And trust me, I know. So be very careful as you cross, as you make decisions, as you potentially try and attract other people to you. Be very careful in what you are doing, right? And who you're interacting with. Sometimes we're attracted to people that we have no business being attracted to. We desire that energy in our lives, but in reality, it's just a fleeting moment. It's a fleeting flame. And it's important for you to understand that, okay? It's important for you to understand that boundaries are going to be very essential in the next 6 months. Be very careful. Always, when you see something and you're honoring your feelings and you're stepping into your power, you're always asking yourself, am I crossing any boundaries? And if the answer is yes, immediately stop, because it will not be advantageous for you and what you are trying to manifest in this world. All right, my goodness, we're getting a lot of advice for you so far. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot. And to honor, I guess, Easter weekend, we're going to use the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. And we're going to go ahead and see what your advice from Spirit is. Or what, not advice, but predictions. What is actually going to happen in the next 6 months, Spirit? What are the themes when it comes to love? Love. Okay, wow. Interesting cards. One of them is reversed, the other one is Temperance. Okay. So we've got another card here talking about essentially the boundaries and the not crossing lines. We have compromise, self-control, moderation, and we have a beautiful illustration of that temperance here, right? So, it's important for you in the next 6 months to step into a very balancing kind of energy with your life. And I think that a lot of you have placed a bit too much focus and a bit too much attention on details to the point where you're missing out on the beautiful energy of life itself. And so I feel that, this message, obviously, if it resonates with you, perfect. If it doesn't, then you might want to go to group number 1. But I feel very strongly that some of you have been working very hard, right? The reason why you've got the 8 of Earth that's showing up reversed, I think, is because you've put a lot of attention, a lot of dedication, and a lot of detail into your work, and I think that this is getting in the way of your happiness. It's getting in the way of your progress. It's getting in the way of just you being able to enjoy yourself as much as you can. And so that is leading you to, I think, a bit of a destructive mindset, or maybe not. Maybe destructive is too big of a word. I think that for some of you it is destructive, but for others, really, what it is seeking pleasure in places where you shouldn't be seeking pleasure in, just because you feel overwhelmed, you're burned out, you put too much attention in your work and your education, and that is where you are mostly essentially focusing your time and attention on. And so when that happens, you tend to try and you tend to try and make up for it, make up for the lack of fun. And when it's like, I feel that some of you are essentially pursuing certain pleasures that are just not going to be good for you. And so, this entire reading is really trying to direct you into what needs to happen in order for you to come into full, almost synchronistic with spirit, or for you to come into alignment with what spirit wants for you, so that you can actually manifest what you want. Okay. And I think, obviously, when it comes to love, a lot of you want to find that love, right? I feel like a lot of you want to find the balance. You want to find someone that's willing to give you what you desire. I think that you're willing to find someone who's both a bit of a badass, but at the same time a good person, right? You want that balance. And I think that for some of you, you are putting so much attention and dedication into your work. You're putting so much focus into your work and education that it is depleting you, and you are looking to be filled. You want your cup filled in other areas where maybe you shouldn't, right? And so that's where the boundaries card comes in. Make sure that you are adhering to those boundaries, right? You can't cross those boundaries, because if you do, there's no going back. So, I feel like it's important for you to potentially, right now, immediately let go of the people that you should be letting go of. If you're involved with someone that you shouldn't be involved with, let go of that relationship immediately, because when the time comes and when you meet that person, that boundary crossing is going to get in the way of you actually being able to manifest what you fully want. So for the next 6 months, keep that in mind. Compromise, self-control, moderation as well. Also, I'm getting this strong feeling that some of you are potentially not being very good to your health. Okay, so this is an area where we need some very close attention. And believe it or not, if you don't prioritize your health, it is going to affect your love life. All right. And so, this obviously is for some people, not everyone. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But our health says a lot about the person, right? And when you're meeting someone, if your health is not where it needs to be, it sends a message, right? That this person might not have it together. And so that might be in some ways detrimental. If it's something that you can control with your health, make sure that you are controlling it. Make sure that you are exhibiting self-control, moderation, because this is very important, very essential. I think some of you haven't put enough focus and attention into your health, and it's showing. And so what's going to end up happening is you're going to fall out of balance, right? And you're going to end up getting further away from manifesting the love that the love that you want. So keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and throw some more cards. We're going to keep it going with the tarot. Let's go ahead and take a look. What else? Give us a little more advice. I mean, this whole reading has been about advice. So really, we're asking Spirit, what is coming, right? We've got all this advice. What is coming for the next 6 months when it comes to love? Oh, boy. All right. Well, Spirit didn't disappoint. Spirit was setting you up. What the reasons why all of these things are important is for what is coming. And the thing is that Spirit wanted to really focus in on the advice and on what needs to happen, because if it's essential to actually bring forth the Chariot and the Ten of Earth. Okay, so we start with what is actually going to happen. What is coming for you? Well, prosperity, security, and tradition, right? So what does that look like? When it comes to love, what does prosperity, security, and tradition looks like? Well, we can say a prosperous love life is very important, right? Prosperity and love is important. Security, that's also very important, right? You want to meet the one and only, right? You want to meet someone that's willing to say, hey, we're going to work on this together. Those are green flags all the way, right? You want someone that says, you are my one and only. We're going to build a future. And on this rock, on this relationship, we're just going to excel in all areas, right? And you want tradition, right? You want to be able to potentially build something that can withstand the test of time, and build those traditions that say that we are a family, and we are a part of the fabric of society. We are together. So very interesting, right? That, I feel, is what's coming. Maybe potentially some of you are trying to manifest this. I do feel like a lot of the messages and a lot of the advice is trying to steer you away from a little too much fun, right? It's trying to steer you away from certain people that you shouldn't be involved with just for a little bit of fun. It's trying to steer you away from overindulging possibly in alcohol and drugs and all these things that potentially are just not good for you, right? So there's a sense of moderation and self-control and boundaries for the next 6 months. If you're able to adhere to this, if you're able to go through this sacrificial element, and if you're able to focus on your health, focus on the things that you can control physically, and not overwork yourself, not use up all of your mental energy in the pursuit of potentially money, then you are going to have that prosperity, that security, and be able to build the traditions that you want to build with that special someone. Now, we have as the final message the Chariot. And this is a very inviting card because it talks about victory, right? Talks about victory. And victory to you can look very differently to many people. Whatever you feel would be the best outcome in love for you, that is what this card is telling you you will receive. Victory in that area. You did not get any of these cards reversed, so it signals that the path is open. But there are things that need to happen, right? So we can't forget that in order for you to have this victory, it's going to require incredible willpower on your part. That is one of the key words there, right? Willpower. Also, recognition is a very important card. You will be recognized for the sacrifices that you're making. Spirit is going to recognize those sacrifices. You know, the world that you live in that asks you to be balanced in every area of life is going to recognize that, whoa, group number 2 is now balanced. They're moving in alignment with spirit as opposed to just going back and forth and not really deciding on anything. No. Group number 2 is aligned. So therefore, we need to go ahead and align with them and give them what they want and what they are trying to manifest, what their thoughts are, what their desires are. Now that they have excelled in this energy of complete and utter willpower and self-control and moderation, now that they have essentially vanquished the darkness, now we need to try and make space for the peace, right? So, and the thing is that, it's funny, step into your power and honor your feelings are the first 2 cards, okay? So you want to do this because ultimately what you truly desire is that 10 of Earth and that Chariot energy. It's the security, the prosperity that comes with this love, right? And wow. Let's go ahead and throw 2 oracle cards. I want to throw 2 oracle cards from the Lover's Oracle, okay? And we're just going to see what further advice or possible further predictions that we have for the next 6 months. So let's go ahead and shuffle and throw 2 cards. Okay. All right. So the first card out, it reads, forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events. For life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Boom. Beautiful message. Beautiful message. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. 1 more oracle card, 1 more message, Spirit, please. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. And remember, love is the greatest healer. Wow. So you've got some advice here from Spirit. I honestly do feel that a lot of you that are watching this and are single, you're going to find someone. You're going to definitely find someone within the next 6 months that's going to offer you these beautiful things. Obviously, there's Spirit is asking for some a little tweaking, right, in your process. But my goodness, we definitely have some very inviting cards here that tell us that, if you're single, you are going to find someone, you're going to meet someone. This relationship will offer you the prosperity, the security, and the traditions that you're after. And it is going to feel like a complete victory. Now, I feel like what the Oracle cards are saying is for you to try and have as much fun as you possibly can. Even though you are going to have to sacrifice a few things, ultimately, this sacrifice is to give you what you truly, fully want. Okay? So, my goodness, right? My goodness, very interesting energy. We started with that step into your power. We moved our way into honoring your feelings. That led us to a compromise, right? A compromise of self-control and moderation. A compromise of working on your health, working on your mental clarity, working on your physical state. That's very important. In order, and then also, we saw boundaries, right? There's boundaries that can't be crossed in the next 6 months. Group number 2, and I think you're going to be almost wanting to cross them. You're going to be almost desirous, right? Possibly even give too much of yourself to someone else, just because you feel depleted in this area right here, this 8 of Earth, and ultimately, if you're able to adhere to these things, if you're able to find that self-control, we see that the message then turns into something truly beautiful. 10 of Earth, the Chariot, prosperity, security, traditions, willpower, victory, recognition, forgiveness. So I think that some of you, are definitely, maybe possibly still hurt, right? You can't forget. You can't forget what was done to you. You can't forgive. And so I think that some of you are somewhat acting out. I think that one of the reasons why you've gone into an energy of possibly, breaking boundaries, or maybe some of you are being a bit rebellious in some ways, is because of your past pains, hurts. I feel like it's important for you to let go of those past events, right? We see that here. Stop focusing your energy on past events. Life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine, right? And so it's important to ask yourself, where have you become reckless? Where have you become someone who does not adhere to the boundaries set forth, right? Where have you become someone who is the person that people want to get away from and avoid? These are all very important questions to ask ourselves, because if we ask ourselves these questions and we're honest with the answer, then we know that change is right there. And that change, again, is going to bring an incredible energy for the next 6 months for you, okay? So remember, take this with an energy of playfulness, right? Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun. And remember, love is the greatest healer. Very interesting. That goes for all of the people around you as well, for all of the relationships that you have around you that are worth keeping. All right, so that is what I see here, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. Also, I am offering private readings at this time. Be aware there is a lot of fraud within the tarot community, so I will never reach out to you directly for a private reading. You have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And thank you also for those that have sent donations. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Don't forget to leave a comment. I want to hear from you. I want to know how this reading impacted you. Thank you once again, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, titled The Next 6 Months, What Will Happen in Love, Predictions, Guidance, Advice, right? So you picked the romantic, loving Knight of Cups, right? A very artistic knight, filled with love. It almost seems like he's coming just to give you that cup. So very interesting selection. I like that. Let's go ahead and start with some advice, maybe some guidance. We're going to start with the Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. We're going to throw 2 just to give us an understanding of what the next 6 months hold for you when it comes to love. All right. Wow. This is extremely, extremely interesting. Both Group 2 and now Group 3 are tied to Group 1. Okay, that's interesting. If you were drawn to group number 1, it's important that you go back and you watch that group. And I think that you're going to like it. You know, it's interesting. But group number 1 talked about actually finding the person. And this reading is tied to that group, just like group number 2. It's so interesting. So if you were drawn to either group 1 or 2, definitely watch those. The reason I say that is because this card, Full Moon and Virgo, Take Inspired Action, came out in the exact same position as group number 1. So then we have here Then we have here the card number 2, which is Go For It, New Moon in Aries. So this is interesting, right? We have here some advice from Spirit for the next 6 months. We start with taking action, taking inspired action, Full Moon and Virgo. So you know, it's important for you to move in a direction, right? To go for it is the message here. Go for it. Take inspired action in the next 6 months. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and throw an oracle card to see if we can put a little more information behind these cards. Why is it that Spirit wants you to take inspired action? Why is Spirit asking you to go for it? We're going to use the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle to try and figure this one out. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Bonfire. Okay. Well, look at that. You've got card number 2, Bonfire. And this card, well, let's see if it comes into focus. There we go. And this card says to you, it is through remembering that you will wake the ritual of your existence and be reborn in mighty celebration. Wow. Wow. Group number 3, this is interesting. In some things it's very similar to group 1, but in others it's different. And so, you know, it's interesting because I feel like the Bonfire is telling you that you are forgetting something, an aspect of yourself, and that needs to be reborn. It needs to come out of you. Okay, and the only way it's going to come out of you is by you making a decision, right? And so, you know, I feel like in the next 6 months you're being asked to be a bit more, available, to be more direct with people, to communicate exactly what you want. Also, if you are interested in someone, if you are potentially eyeballing someone, and I feel that maybe there will be someone that's going to call your attention, call your eye, or catch your eye in the next 6 months, it's important for you to take some kind of inspired action and go for it. You know, speak to this person, possibly tell them how you feel. You know, I feel that if you are able to do that, something new will come. There's going to be some kind of fire and passion. Now, since this reading is tied to group number 1, we saw that there is a relationship coming. There is someone that is going to be made available to you. And it's funny that they showed up in group number 1 as the Knight of Cups, right? They didn't show up as the Knight of Cups, but it was a representation of the Knight of Cups because it was 2 cup cards, the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups that showed up. And so what it showed was that the commitment and the partnerships that you're looking for will be made available in the next 6 months. But here we have an extra added ingredient, and that is for you to take inspired action. So obviously for some of you, potentially, you know, you're going to be approached, but for a lot of you that pick this group first, you have to be the one that approaches, okay? And, you know, it feels like, at the very least, communicate how you feel. Show it, right? And I think that one of the reasons why that is because of just the energies that you have at this current moment. You know, something tells me that a lot of the people watching this are people who or not watching this, but people, whoever selected group number 3, you are someone who desires a connection with other people, with a partnership, but at the same time, when it presents itself, you are kind of turned off to it, or you don't see it right there in that moment, or you don't react like you should, right? And so I think one of the reasons is because you've kind of turned that side of you off for some reason, right? And so you're being reminded, take inspired action, go for it. Just go for it. Awaken that fire. All right, so let's go ahead and throw some tarot. And since Easter is this weekend, I want to use the Guardian's Angel Message Tarot just to give us some direct messages of what is to come in the next 6 months for you in love. All right, let's see. What do we have here? What do we have here? Well. All right, 8 of Air and the Knight of Fire reversed. That's interesting. That is interesting. So it looks like, in the next 6 months, there's going to be a tendency to go back or revert to a dark place, to a place where you you do not thrive in this place, and that is self-doubt, confusion, right? And what it does is that it robs you of your free will, right? We can see those key words down there. It robs you of the ability to move forward. And this is a mental thing. The 8 of Air, which is the 8 of Swords in this deck, it's the card of your mind being bound to an idea. Your mind essentially being bound to the point where there's a blockage and you can't move past that blockage. You can't see further ahead. You can't move forward. And ultimately, it creates confusions and doubts. And, this is where you are at your worst. And so I think that Spirit is bringing this to light, almost like a shadow that has been a thorn on your side for a while. Bringing it out to tell you, listen, you are prone to these behaviors. And if you are prone to these behaviors, then what it ends up happening is that you don't take inspired action. You don't go forward, right? The fire is actually quenched instead of it burning bright, right? It's not there. And so what ends up happening is you lose your self-confidence, you lose your passion, and you lose your sense of adventure. And you need that in the next 6 months if you want to manifest this love interest. All right. I feel like this card is coming because it's telling you that a lot of you have a desire for someone, right? You have a desire for a person, maybe a relationship. If you're single, maybe if you are right now currently in a relationship, maybe you want for there to be the next step. You want something to happen. You want for something to move or change, right? We see that change with the Knight of Fire. The Knight of Fire is all about passion, adventure. The fact that it came out reversed tells me that your self-doubt, your confusion leads to you not being confident enough, right? And I think that maybe some of you lie to yourselves, right? You tell yourselves that, oh, I prefer someone that treats me a certain way, or I prefer for things to, manifest in a certain kind of way. But really, if you really ask yourself the question, right, why do I do this? The answer is self-confidence, okay? For some reason, you're not confident in yourself. And you're trying to mask it with potentially lies, right? And that's where the confusion comes in. So it's important for you to ignite, like the bonfire. Ignite. Burn away the self-doubt. Burn away the confusion. Understand that you have free will, and you have to exercise that free will to its fullest potential. If not, you're going to miss out on the opportunities surrounding you. There's a vision that you have in your mind's eye, and that vision wants to be made manifest. But if not, if you are not able to tap into that confidence, if you're not able to take that inspired action and go for it, then it will not happen. Or at the very least, I don't want to say that it will not happen. It will not happen within the 6 months. Obviously, this is only a 6-month reading. All it will do is it'll delay it, right? You're going to delay in this process, and you don't want that. right? You don't want that. Obviously, you want to know what's going to happen in the next 6 months because you want to manifest whatever this is in the next 6 months. So for that to happen, it is going to require some kind of drastic change on your part. All right, it is going to require some action on your part. And again, group number 1 has a message for you, so don't forget to tune into group number 1 as well. But my goodness, this is this night of fire, which talks about confidence and passion and adventure, wants to have an adventure with you. But for some reason, some of you are doubtful of that adventure. Not only are you doubtful, but you're also confused. Should I want this? Is this what I really desire? It's almost like there's so much doubt and there's so much lack of confidence that you just don't know what to do. So you end up just, frozen. Just like the person in this 8 of air, completely frozen in stasis, doesn't really know what to do, what needs to happen. They're just kind of waiting for life to happen to them, right? As opposed to them making it happen. And Spirit doesn't want that from you. Spirit wants you to start making things happen for yourself. That is the only way that you're going to manifest this this love interest, or whatever love means to you. Obviously, this is extremely open-ended, right? What's going to happen in love? So whatever it is that you have in your mind's eye that you desire, it's important for you to start taking action towards that. All right, so let's take a look and see what else will the tarot share with us. What else will Spirit help us with? Please help us here. What else needs to be said? Wow, okay. Oh, wow. You were bullied. Group number 3, I think you were bullied for your brilliance. You are possibly being bullied. Maybe you've been silenced. This lack of confidence is because of your childhood. All right, something happened to you in your childhood that your confidence was completely taken away. Whenever you showed any kind of playfulness, whenever you showed any kind of happiness, it was immediately contained by someone. It was contained by a parent. It was contained by society. It was just contained. And I think that is happening maybe to you now, but ultimately it happened when you were a child. And so it's led to you not taking inspired action. It's unfortunately, it's hurt your confidence. It's hurt your adventurous nature. And so it's important for you to find that child that has lost that confidence, right? We see here the 2 of earth. We see here a small child. More than likely, if they tip over, things are not going to go well. But this child doesn't care, right? This child is just having fun. They're being adventurous. They're being playful, They don't care. And the fact that there's butterflies all around speaks very, very mightily to the transformation that needs to take place within the next 6 months so that you can truly manifest what you want. So it's important for you to reach a place of balance in your own life. I think that a lot of you maybe have a tendency to just worry about the things that, will pay the bills, or just worry about things that potentially are more conducive for success in the future. And even though there's a desire for love, there's a desire for passion, there's a desire for romance, it's not present because you really aren't fully open to it. And the reason why you're not open to it is because you're not willing to actually go and take that step, take that walk. And really, at this point, it's not even a walk. You're being asked to sprint. You're being asked to move forward. You're being asked to light that fire, right? So what this looks like is going on an adventure. In the next 6 months, Spirit wants you to go on an adventure. This could be travel. This could very well just be to places that you've not been to with the people, your friends. Obviously, there's not a lot of people showing around here. Just 2, actually. Well, there are a lot of people. We've got 2 people, the Queen of Air and the Knight of Fire. So maybe this could be a best friend that you have here. And I feel like what's being told to you is, hey, start being more adventurous, start going out more, start experiencing life a little more, as opposed to simply just focusing on how you're going to get by, right? Start thinking more of adventure. Start thinking of, I'm going to walk that ledge and I don't even care if I fall into the water. I'll figure it out as I go. Be present. Be in this moment. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. Be right here, right now is what Spirit would like for you to do, right? And also with the Queen of Air, not only is this an understanding that there might be someone around you that cares about you, that is a part of your life, that is a good friend, but it's also an aspect of you. Right? You are brilliant, you are experienced, and you also excel in humor, right? You see those keywords down there. You're very, I think, well-read. You're intelligent, and what that means is that you're going to be able to excel in most everything. But also, maybe potentially for some of you, the fact that you are the Queen of Air and you're in your head a lot, constantly trying to figure out problems and, solutions to problems, I think that might... in some ways make it a little more difficult for you to tap into the energy of the Knight of Cups that says, I love everything, I love every experience, I want to just move and be as bendable as the waters and just allow for the life to take me on this road, on this beautiful adventure, wherever it leads, right? It's very difficult for you to just tap into that part of you because of this Queen of Air energy that's just such a big part of you. The Queen of Air is in her head a lot, just trying to figure out how to create a system or a process, or there's a sense of true brilliance about you. And it's important for the next 6 months to, in some ways, balance out this Queen of Air with the Knight of Cups, which you picked. The fact that you picked the Knight of Cups tells me that this is something that you desire greatly. And if you desire this, it might be because you lack it in some capacity, which is why we've got the Queen of Air showing up here. Now, obviously, it all stems from your childhood. We've identified that, right? We've identified maybe strict parents, which tells me why you're so intelligent and you're so brilliant, right? You were molded to be this Queen of Air. The problem is that sense of adventure and fire but it was in some ways blocked by these people because they wanted for you to develop this Queen of Air. They wanted for you to just tap into that brilliance. And the problem with that is, unfortunately, that now you're in some ways a bit inexperienced in these other areas, right? Or not inexperienced, but there's a lack of. You always get to the edge of the water. You look at the beauty of the water, but you never jump in. So it's time to jump in. Group number 3. It is time to jump in. So let's go ahead and try and get some direct advice from the oracles. We're going to use the Lover's Oracle cards, all right, for that direct advice. We're going to let Spirit just talk to us and see what the message is. Let's see. All right, so message. We have, my beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Whoa. I hardly ever get this card in a reading, and it showed up. Awesome. That right there is a channeled message from the person that you are going to be with. You are in a soulmate adventure. Adventure. I got the word stuck. The adventure word stuck in my mind. You are in a soulmate journey. You're in a soulmate kind of environment here. I feel like this person is speaking to you directly through this reading. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Wow. That is intense. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what the other card is. We have got here, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Beautiful. Yes. Whew. That is a beautiful message. Group number 3, right? Beautiful, beautiful message of manifesting what you want, your dreams. this is very much going to happen for you, okay? And you know, there's obviously some things that Spirit would like for you to tap into. I think that Spirit wants you to be a completed product. I think that Spirit would like for you to tap into that willpower, that energy, that fire. But also Spirit wants you to just let go, right? Tap into the energies of that cup. Use your heart, just like it says here. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. You know, I think that the Queen of Air tends to be in her mind a lot. What is the logical conclusion to this? Let's think logically about this. But at the same time, you have to balance that out with the energies of the cups. That's all about emotion. What do you feel like doing? What do you feel like doing? Follow that for a little while, for the next 6 months, and that following is going to lead you to something truly wonderful. It's going to lead you to you fulfilling your dreams, right? Manifesting miracles. And the fact that we've got that keyword miracles, it is going to seem like a miracle, because I think that some of you want to manifest something so beautiful, and it almost seems like it's out of reach. It seems like a fairy tale. It seems like it's not going to happen. Spirit is telling you that it will, if you are able to fully integrate every aspect of a human experience into who you are right now, right? So keep in mind a balance, a playfulness that was essentially not supported when you were younger, so it's led you to be less adventurous. You're being asked to be adventurous, to be passionate. You have to in some ways let go of the self-doubt and the confusion that might plague you sometimes, and just let go. My goodness. So that is what I see here, group number 3, a very special reading. Thank you for watching. Also, I'm offering private readings at this time. If you are interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. One quick note, there's a lot of fraud going on in the tarot reading community. I will never reach out to you for a private reading. You have to go through my Etsy store if you want to place a private reading request. I'm going to include the link in the description below. I have had people reach out to me telling me that someone is reaching out, so please be careful. That's not me. Thank you once again. I love every single one of you. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your comments, your likes. I love you, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 4, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, Love Tarot reading, and Oracle reading, titled, The Next 6 Months, What Will Happen in Love? Now, you picked the very beautiful Knight of Pentacles. Let's take a look at this, right? Knight of Pentacles comes to the water's edge, takes some respite as he looks at the feathers of all of the other knights that come before him. So very interesting here. Let's go ahead and see what the next 6 months is going to bring. We're going to start with Oracle cards. We're going to start with the Moonology Manifestation Oracles. We're going to shuffle now, and we're going to see exactly what advice, guidance, predictions for the next 6 months come out. Alright, so Spirit, help us here. Oh, wow. Wow. Group number 4, if you were attracted or drawn to group number 2, there's a message there for you. And this has been the weirdest pick a card reading I have ever done, because every single group is connected to another group, and they are all connected to group number 1. And my goodness, I mean, it's actually kind of wild. But anyways, there's a message, I think, for you in group number 2. Go Wild came out in the same position, right, as this full moon in Leo Go Wild card came out. And so, sorry, I'm completely taken aback by the fact that every single group is connected to each other. My goodness. Anyways, so we start with a message of going deeper for in the next 6 months, and then we start with a message of going wild for the next 6 months. So this is very interesting, right? Going deeper. Now, obviously, we're going to need more cards to understand exactly what this means, but obviously with this new moon in Scorpio, going deeper, we see a sense of new experiences, possibly doubling down on what you are currently doing, possibly examining a situation on a deeper level, right? Not on a superficial level, but more on a deeper level. And then we have a message of going wild, right? Of roaring, full moon in Leo. We've got fire, dynamism, go wild, and have as much fun as you can for the next 6 months. So just kind of right off the bat, you kind of get this feeling that you have to, in the next 6 months, try and reach a place of true contentment and possibly uncomfortableness. I think that a lot of the people that pick this group, you're very stable. You're people that are dependable. There's a knowing of what should be done. You're very schedule oriented. There's a place and a time for everything, and I think that for the next 6 months, you're being asked to step a little bit outside of that and start showing a little bit of fire, right? Mix that fire with that beautiful energy of the pentacles of earth, and you're going to gain some result or move towards what you desire in love. Obviously, this is open-ended, right? What's coming next in love? Whoever's watching this, right? If you're single, if you're in a relationship, even if you're married, right? In order for you to truly manifest what you truly want in love, you're being required to go wild in the next 6 months and go much deeper than you've gone before. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and try and get a direct message from the new Seasons of the Witch Oracle Beltane. We're going to see exactly what card is resonating with you the most for the next 6 months. Spirit, help us here. Help us understand what is happening. Ooh, we've got Fae. Wow. We've got Fae showing up here. And Fae says to you, not everything is as it seems. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale. My. Ooh, we've got a little bit of mystery and intrigue here, group number 4. We've got some mystery and intrigue. So we start with the message of going wild and go deeper. And then the Fae comes in to tell you that whatever story or whatever tale has been told to you about a person, an event, a situation, there's a deeper meaning to that story, right? There's a deeper meaning to that tale. There's a story that hasn't been told, right? And that's where the going deeper comes in. My goodness. This is one of those readings that really resonates with the person listening. But for me, I'm just completely confused, right? So we need more cards to figure this one out. But my goodness, right? Not everything is as it may seem. Be cautious, for there is a story beneath the tale. Go deeper, go wild. Wow. All right. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot. And since Easter weekend, it's right around the corner, I want to go ahead and use the one of my favorite decks, the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. So let's go ahead and shuffle. Oh, wow. First card out. Okay, what is coming next 6 months? What is coming in love? Spirit, help us here. Okay, wow. You've got 2 reversals showing up here. And this is very interesting. Group number 4, the message is now been essentially extended to the tarot. All right. So we start with the fire that we saw in the going wild showing up here. But what we see is you not attaining your goals. You not reaching a place of expansion and not having the vision. The fact that the card showed up reversed tells me that in order for you to reach your goals and reach that expansion, then that vision that you have in your mind's eye, you have to go wild. You have to do things a little differently. You have to shake up a system that you've developed for yourself. Now that is scary, right? Well, we have here a deeper understanding of what that means. So we've got the Emperor showing up reverse. This is the Emperor that's essentially talking about organization, leadership, structure. We see the key words at the bottom, right? This is the Emperor that has that foundation underneath. And, we talked about your detailed orientedness, right? Your schedule following ways, your planning ahead, the structure that you've built, and that is truly wonderful. But what these cards are telling you is that in the next 6 months, you have to try and balance that with the energies of willpower, fire, passion. The only way to be able to do that is to let go of so much control and structure. You are someone who's become very structured, very organizational, right? And in order for you to, in some ways, reach your goals and your vision, you have to let go of that for the next 6 months. Obviously not fully, but at the same time, you have to go deeper into the unknown, into that fire, into that passion. And the only way is for you to step into the unknown. And that's a little scary, right? I think that, one of the reason why this thing keeps showing up is because you have this thinking, and it might come from your childhood. It may come from a past life. The fact, I wouldn't say childhood, but the fact that we've got the phase showing up here tells me that this might be something that you've brought on from a different life. And so, it's important because that structure, that organizational structure that you've developed, that foundation that you are always trying to build on, it's important because it's gotten you to this point. And I think in past lives, it's gotten you past a lot of troubles and a lot of struggle, right? To be orderly. And that's the reason why you've picked the Knight of Pentacles, why you were drawn to the Knight of Pentacles. You were drawn to the stableness of the Knight of Pentacles. You were drawn to the organizational patterns of the Knight of Pentacles, right? It called to you because that is who you are. And so I feel like in some ways, a little bit of chaos is what's being asked from you in the next 6 months. That chaos is going to create new order. And the thing is that you are the type of person that is able to take any kind of chaos and turn that into order, right? But the problem is that sometimes you stay stuck in that order, and that's the order that you've developed, and that's where you're going to stay. That is your comfort zone, and this is the best place to be. Well, in order for you to have the life that you want when it comes to love, you have to break free of that. There has to be some fire, there has to be some chaos, right? And you then are going to use your organizational skills, your structure, mindset, and create order from that chaos. But it's going to become something completely new. It's going to be a new, I would say, experience, a new adventure. And that adventure is what you've been desirous of. That has been a goal of yours. You want expansion. But the problem is that you can't have the expansion if you don't destroy the foundation that you've built and the organizational patterns that you've created underneath you. You got to break free of that. There has to be a little bit of fire. It has to burn like the phoenix so that there can be new life and new structures can be created from that chaos. And so, with the Emperor, we see that. We have the Emperor reversed, the Three of Fire reversed. There's an unwillingness for you to do this because, anytime, even just saying the word chaos brought me a little anxiety. And I feel that anxiety because of you. You energetically are giving me that. Because the people that pick this group, you don't want chaos. You want order, right? You want structure. You want stability. You want a good foundation that you can build on top of. I understand it completely. I am a Virgo sun and I am a Virgo moon. Trust me when I tell you, group number 4, I know exactly where you are coming from. But in order for you to have those goals, in order for you to have that kind of expansion, it requires extraordinary sacrifices. It requires a little bit of chaos. Man. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this going. We're going to throw 2 more tarot cards, and we're just going to see what the tarot is going to tell us. What else? Spirit, talk to us. Talk to us, Spirit. Please help us. What is going to come in the next 6 months for this group? What information? Advice. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So Spirit wants me to reassure you, group number 4. Spirit wants me to reassure you. So beautiful. Okay. I will comply. You are the Queen of Earth. All right? You are stable, you are gracious, you are practical, and you are capable. These qualities will never ever leave you. They are you. You are it. Period. Now, this energy of the Queen of Earth is what you are going to use. It's important because, you know, all of the elements work together. We've got that fire, right? But fire can't burn without the earth. We can't have the passion and the dynamism that we want without the stability of the earth. And this is an area where you are perfect at. This is where you dwell in, right? But in order for you to have the accomplishments that you want, in order for you to have the completion that you desire, you have to try and break free of that system, right? You know, it's these two cards are essentially just confirming everything that I just said, really. They're just a confirmation of exactly what was communicated. And so we have here the world, right? Showing up in all its beauty. And I love this world card because it's just so gorgeous. There's a sense of accomplishment, celebrations, and completion, right? So this is what's coming. I asked Spirit, what is coming for you in the next 6 months? And this is it right here. This is a confirmation of you receiving what you want, the world, okay? But also, you have to consider one thing. You're on the hero's journey. The hero's journey starts with the major arcana number 0, which isn't really a number, it's a devoid of a number, but anyways, it starts with the Fool, and then we work our way to the world. That's the hero's journey, okay? But you've only reached the world in order to start a whole new journey. And that is where the breaking of the foundations that you've built come to an end so that a new foundation can take its place. And this foundation is going to be higher than the prior one, right? It's going to be much higher. So, you know, your practical nature, your capable nature is going to help you make sense, and it's going to help you bring order into this love. And so, you know, I think that I've been speaking a lot in... I've been speaking with a lot of passion. You know, the words that I'm choosing to share with you are filled with fire and passion. And you know, it's because this is what Spirit wants for the next 6 months, right? But let's go ahead and come to the Queen of Earth, right? Let's try and connect with that Queen and how she would like to be spoken to. In the next 6 months, you are being asked to start going out more, okay? Make sure that you're not making too many plans. Don't overplan. Don't think of what you're going to do within the next week, right? And what the schedule says. Break free of the schedule for the next 6 months. Try and live with a little wildness to you. Try and live and feel life, okay? And what that means is if somebody invites you on an adventure or, you know, to go out somewhere, go ahead and do it, right? Don't look at your schedule immediately and say, well, I got this, I can't. No. Step into that fire, okay, in the next 6 months. If there's a new band or some kind of new club that just opened up, don't ask yourself what would be most beneficial. Should I save my money or should I go in and you know, spend some money there? Their prices are very high, so maybe I need to take the more practical approach and not go. Burn that. Go to the place. Spend the money. Have the fun. Invite the people that you normally wouldn't invite because they're too chaotic. Get them in there. Add a little excitement. That's what's being asked of you for the next 6 months. All right? So I wanted to try and give you the more practical interpretation of the message instead of speaking in such epic terms. But I feel like, you know, there is definitely a sense of accomplishment, celebration, and completion that the world is going to bring you if you're able to create something new out of a more passionate reality or a more passionate a view, or, you know, there's a sense of just reaching new heights here. All right, we're going to go ahead and try and get some direct messages from Spirit, and we're going to do that with the Lover's Oracle cards, right? So we're going to throw 2 Lover's Oracle cards, and we're going to see what messages, what advice, just anything. What's going to happen in the next 6 months? Spirit, what do you want to talk? What do you want to tell your people? What do you want to tell your people? Just tell us. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Wow. Beautiful, 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 right? So, yeah, manifesting miracles. I think that for some of you, and it's funny because I think group number 3 also got this card. I'm telling you, every single group has been connected. And that is insane. But manifesting miracles, your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Very good advice for a very practical Queen of Earth, very gracious, very capable Queen of Earth, right? It's not, this whole reading is not about losing yourself. It's about finding a different you within that self, okay? All right, let's go ahead and throw another oracle card. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have here. Okay. All right. We've got here, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Wow. That is very interesting, right? So it's a message of acceptance. It's a message of inner peace. And how to have that inner peace. My goodness. All right, so I think that message is very profound to some of you. I don't need to summarize it. I think that it is very profound. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the board and just see exactly where this reading has taken us, right? To the conclusion. We started with a message of going deeper and going wild. And we asked ourselves, what exactly does that mean? What does that mean? And we have here the magical fae that showed up telling you that not everything is as it may seem. Be cautious, dear one, for there is a story beneath the tale, which only confused us even more. We wondered, what exactly is it that the fae wants us to try and bring into this earth if everything is not as it seems? And then we started getting a deeper understanding with the 3 of Fire reversed, the Emperor showing up reversed. We understood that you are the Queen of Earth, the gracious, practical, capable Queen of Earth. But in order for you to have the completion that you want, the vision, there had to be a breaking of the foundations, of the organizational structures that you've developed in order for there to be new life, in order for there to be expansion. And then now, we ended this with a beautiful message from Spirit of manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Wow. So, group number 4, that is your message. All right, that is your message for the next 6 months in love. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to remind you, seekers, that I am offering private readings at this time. If you are interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. A quick note, there's a lot of fraud going around in the tarot reading community. So be very careful. I will never reach out to you directly for a reading. You have to go through my Etsy store. That's the only way that I transact. So Etsy store, I'm going to include the link in the description once again. If I reach out, that's not me. Also, I want to thank you to the ones that have sent me donations. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for leaving your comments, for leaving your likes. Thank you. Thank you. If there's anything that I can do for you, let me know in the comments section. Bye-bye.